What up, YouTube? It's your boy Mano back at it again with another video. Again, guys, as you see, we're going to get right into it. You see the thumbnail, you see the title. 5 things I like about the Mustang and 5 things I dislike about the Mustang. All right, so again, we have the Mustang GT Premium 2020, and of course, we got it with the stick. So first, let's go ahead and start it with the 5 things I love about the Mustang. So let's start here, the exterior. Wheels. We got the 19-inch wheels. Of course, this, as you guys know, this is not your original set of wheels. This comes with the PP1, Performance Pack 1. So that's going to give you much better handling, much better grip. As you can see, we got the Michelin tires on here. These are the Pilot Sports S. It's not the Cut 2s, I believe, are the one that everybody kind of raves about. But there you go. Other thing we got going on is gonna be the second thing I love about this car is going to be just the overall stand, the look of this car, how it just sits. As you can see, it is staggered, so you'll notice that in the front, in the back, the rear set tires are gonna be they're gonna sit a little bit wider. I do like that staggered look. Now, I still think that these can take a little bit of a wider tires or setup, and then also getting that done in the front as well, but still keeping that staggered look. I would really like to see that, but just wider on both ends. Now, some people can easily solve that by putting some spacer in there. I know YouTuber Rush Shift, he went ahead and said like for 50 bucks he was able to get his car right. So that's pretty good. That's a quick, easy fix if you want to go that route. Right now it doesn't look that bad because the car is not sitting lower. So when the car sits lower, it is a little bit better. But then that front wheel is gonna really sit under the car, so it's gonna be much more noticeable. So some of you guys might not really like that. I know that when I saw Rush Shift, when he lowered his car, you can definitely tell it didn't look so good. So but for whatever reason, my car doesn't look as bad, but that's because, again, I haven't lowered the car. I'm not sure if I am gonna keep it like that, or if I'm gonna lower it. Something to think about. You guys please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Should I really lower the car? Keep in mind, I do have the magnet ride set up on there. So I do like that. So that brings me to my third point of things that I like about this car. And that's gonna be, surprisingly, the handling. I love how the car handles. Now, keep in mind, I'm not really dragging this car, for the current time. I'm not really even racing the car or anything like that. It's just primarily for some fun time, joy rides and stuff like that. As you guys know, I work from home now, so I'm not even driving to and from work, right? It's just literally a joy ride. That's it. So when I am joy riding and I kind of, drive it a little bit aggressively, you can kind of feel that the magnet ride suspension really kicks in, and it, when it needs to, it firms up the ride. When it needs to as well, it's gonna soften it up. So I really like that feature on there. Talking about adjustability, the exhaust. So that brings us to my fourth thing that I like about this car. So let's go ahead and give you guys some sounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this right here for you guys. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. right, guys, so you heard that. So what you heard there was the $800 feature, which is the active exhaust. I really like it because you can even set up a like a timer, not a timer, like a schedule, if you will. So if you got like neighbors or whatever that you don't want them to hear your car in the morning, you can go ahead and put the car so it can, when you start it up in the morning, it's quiet and it doesn't wake up the neighbors. But if you leave it as is, it's gonna start up in the normal. Now, the only thing is that you can't set it to where it starts in the track, right? You have sport, normal, sport, and track, and quiet mode. So if you do want the track mode, which is, it is the loudest, you have to manually go in there. But again, it is very simple. All right, guys, which that brings me to my final thing that I love about this car. Is gonna be the engine, right? So let's take a look. Of course, you have your lever right here. Gonna go ahead and pop that open for you guys. Oh, and look at, check that out, man. The light, nice little purple lighting in there. Right. So here is, I'm sure you guys seen it many times before. Here is that big Coyote 5.0 engine. Love this thing, man. It makes 460 horsepower at the crank. Of course, we're not gonna get that at the wheel, and it is paired up to that 6-speed transmission, which is, it's not the best by no means, but it's good enough for a joyride. So that's a perfect segue to talk about the things that I dislike about this car. Very minimal. For starters, popper rod right there. As to why they did not put hydraulics, I have no idea. Makes no sense to me. Whatever. That's the first thing I do not like about the car. Second thing, you know, how you guys mentioned that 460 horsepower. It is going to be paired up to that 6-speed, which I love the idea of manual. However, this transmission right here, when you're shifting into second or from second to third, it feels like it doesn't grab on right. And it feels almost like it grinds a little bit. I mean, it's subtle, but definitely it is noticeable. At first, I thought it was just me, because prior to this car, I haven't been driving a manual for a while. It's been a couple years since the last time I rode a manual. I think the last manual I rode was a Acura Integra, or I'm sorry, no, Acura TSX was actually the last one I drove, in 2004. Brother-in-law at the time. So, but yeah, and that one was crispy smooth. This, on the other hand, again, some of those shift points are not going to be buttery smooth like I would like it to be. But again, whatever. Again, it is a car that I use just for joyride, so it is what it is, man. All right, so the third thing that I dislike about the car, right? So again, we have the first, which is the rod. Second thing, I believe it's an MT82 6-speed transmission that it has a little bit of grind. Now going into the third thing. So third thing about this car that I don't like, and again, it's very simple. It's nothing crazy. It's gonna be, you guys can look at the interior. I love, don't get me wrong, most of the things on here I love, with a few exceptions. If you look back here, obviously the space is very tight. If you look back there, the back seats, one of them doesn't sit flush, so it looks like build quality on there. Has its highs and lows. You can see all throughout, it has some good things on here. The lighting, the steering wheel, it has a lot of good, but there is some little bits and pieces where you can kind of tell it has a little bit of a shortcuts on there. Now, normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but keep in mind, guys, this is pretty much a MSRP on this car is a $53,000 car. I know you guys been thinking like, holy shit, yeah. Now that gets to my next thing of this car, my fourth thing, which is the pricing. Now, granted, that's my fault. I wanted a car that was completely spec'd out. This is a pretty much spec'd out vehicle, right? The only thing I really didn't get on the car was just the automatic, which that gets you the better 0 to 60, right? Because you're looking at 3.9 with the automatic 10-speed. But I like to roll through my own gears. It is a car for joyride anyway, so I wanted to get that. So yeah, pricing on this car seems rather high, $53,000 for a Mustang, right? And we're not talking about a Mach 1, we're not talking about GT Shelby GT 350, none of that stuff, right? We're talking about just a plain old Mustang GT. Now, granted, it is the premium, it is the Pack 1, and it got all the bells and whistles, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, everything you can think about, all the safety features. It has everything. Only thing it doesn't have really is the remote starter, because obviously it is a manual, right? But everything else, it has it on there. So I do like that. But yeah, guys, again, don't get me wrong, this car has amazing things on it. I love it. It's pretty much a car I was really looking forward to get. But yeah, it's definitely a pricey car. Or you're thinking about, man, GT 350, you're not that far off. And one thing I would have wished it would have done was just add the Tremec 6-speed. It seems like people are saying that one is much smoother. It is buttery, but that's pretty much it there. And lastly, the fifth thing about this car is, we talked about it earlier a little bit, but I really didn't want to get into it, which is the ride height. I wish the ride height was a little lower. As you can see here, I can fit 2 fingers comfortably, and it still has a little bit of a wiggle. Of course, Ford does have the aftermarket part for it, which puts it perfect where it needs to be. I wish it would have been a little bit lower, but whatever. It is a car for joyride. It feels good. It's extremely comfortable, but yet sturdy enough where I can confidently take turns and not feel like I'm going to be part of the crashing community that we see with Mustangs. Shout out to my Mustang riders out there. But yeah, but that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if there's anything in particular you guys wanted to talk about. I could talk about Mustang. It's kind of starting to rain heavily, so I don't want to take out the car. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, it's another video for you guys to really learn a little bit more about my Mustang, learn a little bit more about myself. And you guys take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. What's up, guys? This is another day. I wanted to just go ahead and quickly just mention to you guys. Take what I said with a grain of salt. Ultimately, I love this car. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You guys might see now the new 2021 Mach 1. Yes, it is a nice car, but essentially it's like the Mustang Bullet, 480 horsepower. It has the nice yellow filter on there. They didn't even bother to change the color of the filter, really. So I mean, it's literally the same car. The big thing is they put the Tremec transmission, little, a few things here and there. But again, for the price of that car, which again I think is like another, like $6-7 grand, I'm totally okay with my PP1. I'll leave it as is, guys. Love the car, wouldn't trade it for the world. The only car that I would want other than this one would be the Shelby GT 500, but of course we all know that that's an automatic, 7-speed. I would much rather have the manual and just roll through my own gears, man. So that's it, guys. So stay tuned. And, oh, make sure to like and subscribe to the video down low, okay? Appreciate you guys.